All is well.
Great. That's great news to my ears. Just wanted to do some quick announcements here before we get started. We will be doing a fellowship. This is a fellowship. So if you have any questions or comments throughout the service, please raise your hand. Myself or Samuel will bring you the mic. And if and when we bring you the mic, please hold it in the fashion that I am holding it, so the sound is clear for us here in the audience as well as the audience listening online. They are very, very picky. It is very annoying when they complain. So let's do our best with that. Anyways, please no food or drink here before, during, or after the service. I see everyone is following the rules there. If everyone could please check their cell phones right now, check it out right now. Silence the cell phones. Don't unsilence them. Silence them. If there's noise from the phones, the whole service will just shut down. We'll make you stand up. We'll point at you until you silence that cell phone. I don't want to do that, but that's how it has to be. Sorry. Anyways, and finally, if you need to use the restroom throughout the service, it is back that way and to the left. If you happen to get lost along the way, TJ is there wearing a tracksuit. You cannot miss him. He is blending in with the wall a little bit, but he will see your distress that you are lost, and he will shepherd you, guide you to where you need to go. Anyways, thank you all for coming. If anybody maybe towards the back wants to fill in the front a little bit, so the lollygaggers who will be showing up in 5 or 10 minutes, I'm assuming, maybe even later, that would be much appreciated so the lollygaggers can sit in the back. Anyways, that's all for me. Thanks for coming. Happy Sunday.
Amazing. Who is the Prince of Detroit, Hassan?
I'm not sure.
You don't know?
No, my friend made a movie, so I just took this sweater.
Oh, really? So it could be Satan?
Amazing.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the church. I'm Jesse Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will let me know if you have questions and comment, all right? I do appreciate it. Good morning, y'all. How y'all? Good. Yesterday we were down in Ramona, California. You ever been there? Anybody ever been there? It's like by San Diego somewhere, near the borders of Mexico, look like. Is it near Tijuana? And it's down in a hole. You drive up this hill, then you drive down the hill. It's like someone dug a hole in the rock and made a city. And it's beautiful. It's really nice. But we had a good time. Thank you all for showing up. Some of the guys at Bond showed up, so thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Who's here for the first time today? Oh, nice. Nice, amazing. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
Oh, okay. My name is Larissa. I was introduced to your platform by my friend Cameron here.
Right on.
Yeah.
And any questions? Did you watch any of the videos or anything yet?
Oh, the video I watched was, actually no, I didn't watch really any videos. She just told me about your silent prayer.
Have you done that?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I did it all throughout quarantine. So with my experience doing it for like, I guess a year now or a year and a half, it helped me clear my mind and organize my thoughts better and not worry about, the little things.
Right on.
So.
Amazing.
So I thank you for that.
You're
welcome. And I thank her for that.
Yeah, that's right. Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was the first thing I did, yeah.
And how did that go?
Ooh, how that went, she took it like I wasn't saying it at first, like probably like disbelief.
Right.
And then she went into like her emotions I'm like reliving it in my head, so I'm like trying to reenact
Right.
it in my head. And it was a process. I had to re-forgive her. So, because I
It's
talked
hard
to Cam,
forgiving
Cam
the
said
black
do it
woman,
again.
huh?
Yeah. Yes. And she felt like I was, not to say victimizing her, but attacking her.
Right.
And, you know, I had to reassure her, like, I forgive you for this. I had to keep saying it so she knew that I wasn't attacking her. You know, she didn't know any better. She did her best. But it affected me this way, and that's the reality kind of thing.
Right.
And probably like the third time, she like
You
got
went
it.
3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah. It's really hard.
Because we
with that
always
one.
fought. We always like, I'm like, okay, I got to do this again.
No.
So yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah. Oh, and I did my father as well. My father was more receiving
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
my parents actually divorced. So I had to forgive them for what transpired in their divorce.
Oh,
So
okay.
he received it a little differently, a little well. He's more mellow than she is.
Do you know why it's hard for women to, you're not even going there to yell at her. You said, I'm sorry for hating you. I realize you couldn't help it now.
Right.
Do you know why it's hard for women like that to accept it?
No.
Because Satan is their daddy. And they have a big ego.
Right.
And the hardest thing in the world for the average, not all, but most, maybe all. But the hardest thing for a woman to admit is that she's wrong.
Okay.
She'll cut your throat and hang your hair like this
Right.
before she admits she's wrong. And that's why you have to just forgive her, but let her deal with her denial.
Right.
She may not be ready to overcome, but God will forgive you and take her identity away and give you back his identity.
Right.
And you'll
Amen.
be fine.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
And so are you dealing with her in a grown-up way now? You're not afraid of her and all that?
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. That is so nice.
Truly,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah. Any questions about anything? Or any disagreements about anything?
I guess. I don't have any questions pertaining to, it's almost like the next step. Like what would be the next step moving forward with, or do I just let it flow?
Perfect question. Let it flow.
Okay.
Stay with the silent prayer.
Okay.
Because it drawing you closer and closer to the Father within and further away from the darkness of your imagination. And one day you realize, wow, what a life.
Yeah.
And most people won't understand it. It'll be between you and the Father,
Yeah.
but it will be amazing.
Yeah.
So stay with the prayer, no matter what happens.
Yeah. I do have to say that, the result of how I said, like, it organized my thoughts, like a better terminology was it gave me peace of mind.
Yes, I know what
Yeah.
you mean. That's right. And what it's really doing, the light of God is taking you away from the thoughts. He'll bring you out of the darkness into the light.
Right.
Because with that anger, you've been living in darkness.
Right.
And that's why everything seems so hard and you're judging yourself and emotional because you were in the darkness. You're now in the light.
Yeah.
By forgiving your mother, he drew you in and the light is shining and you're going to grow in the light. It's going to blow your mind. It's really going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
So stay with the prayer. Just live now.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. Stay with the prayer. Oh, pray and watch. Means to pray and watch the thoughts. And life will just unfold by itself.
Okay.
It really will. Everything you touch will work for you.
Okay.
And one day you'll be over the emotions. You won't hate anyone, no matter what your friends say or do, your
Right.
family, it wouldn't matter. You'll just be fine.
Okay.
But
Thank
stay
you.
with the prayer.
All right.
And when you have a boyfriend?
I'm dating, but I don't have like a set boyfriend now.
Is he beta or alpha?
I feel like beta.
He's a beta?
Yeah, I feel like beta.
Yeah. Well, when you see that now, you won't judge him for it.
Okay.
That's what's going to stop.
Right.
You'll be honest with him about it, but you won't resent him for it.
Yeah, I had that happen to me. I was like, I felt I was more alpha. So it was hard for me to like, I don't want to demean anybody's character.
Right.
So, but it held me back from like, why is this person not this way?
Yeah.
But like you said, that resentment goes away.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because he has to do the same thing that you did. He must forgive. He got to overcome his mother. He really can't help it at this point, and he might not be aware of it yet.
Wow. I agree. I did see that, like, his relationship with his mother was, like, resentful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, like, a tension.
All men and all women that walk this earth resent their mothers. Not one love their mothers until they go and forgive.
Right.
Then they can love them. God said to honor your parents, and it simply means don't resent them. And now you can treat your parents with perfect love, and that's what it means not to, that's what it means to honor them. It's not to resent them. And you will be an adult. You're not your mama's baby. You're not her daughter. You're an individual adult now.
Right, yeah.
And you will be treated that way, and you will treat her that way as well.
Yeah. Or, like, respectfully kind of thing, right?
Yeah, just not resenting. You'll disagree.
Yeah.
You may have to yell at her sometimes.
Yeah.
You may have to block her on your social media, but you won't resent her.
Right.
Because she might not go away. You know, sometimes they won't go away. The mama want to follow you everywhere.
Yeah, she does that. She does. She'll, like, keep talking, and I'm like, okay, I've ended the conversation, or I thought, you know, the conversation had its end.
Yeah.
And she'll still be talking.
Right.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
But now you'll be able to say, I gotta go, bye.
Yeah.
Cool. And you won't feel guilty because you won't have her nature.
Right.
You'll be free.
Yes.
And the same way with your boyfriend. Or anyone, really. No matter who.
Right.
All right?
Yes.
Amazing. Any other questions?
No, that's it.
That is so nice.
Thank you, though.
Church is over. We can do the offering now and go. Right on. Your first time here? Yeah. Okay. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name's Obi, and I discovered you on YouTube.
Right on. Any questions or disagreements or anything?
No, not, well, probably like questions on how to like find perfect peace in life.
Right, okay. And what's your question?
Yeah, how do you find perfect
Oh, how do you
peace?
find it?
Yeah.
Same thing this young lady did. Go and forgive. The only reason you don't have it is because you have a heart of stone, you have no love. And when you go and forgive, God will forgive you, and he shall give you peace. It'll happen because he will take the heart of stone and turn it into love, which is of him, and in him there's nothing but peace. But as long as you have anger, you won't have peace. You must forgive. What do you think about that?
I agree. I like that.
You have anger?
A little bit.
A little bit? About this much? How much do you have?
I have anger.
Yeah. Did you know that any male that has anger is a woman?
I agree with that.
Oh, good. You know you're a girl?
I wasn't born a girl.
Right. You wasn't born a girl. You just feel like one. Have you heard me say go and forgive?
Yeah, I've actually watched a lot of your videos, and I do plan on forgiving my mom.
How long you been watching?
Probably like for 2-3 months now.
Oh, okay. And why haven't you gone straight and away and forgiven? Straight way and forgiven?
Well, my parents are African, but I was born here, so that makes me American, right?
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, my parents, they're in Africa on vacation right now.
Oh, okay.
So probably
Oh, they're
one day.
from Africa?
Yeah, they're Nigerian specifically.
I was
particularly.
about to say, were they one of those at the borders?
What was
One of
that?
those Haitian? You're not a Haitian, right?
No, I'm not Haitian.
Okay, all right. We welcome the Haitians too, though. And so they're on vacation, that's why you have not forgiven?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And do you live with them?
No, sir.
Oh, good. You have your own place and all that?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, when they come back, make sure you forgive and have no expectation. Don't expect them to apologize or anything. You forgive them, they did their best, and God will forgive you. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, sir.
And why not?
I haven't got to it. I've heard about it, but I never got to it.
You just don't have time to pray right now?
I have time. I can make time.
I really want to urge you to pray, all right?
Okay.
Christ said, pray and watch. So you must pray so you can be one with the Father. at all times. Eventually, it'll be all times. You'll be one with God instead of in your head.
Okay.
All right? But when you overcome the anger, you shall have peace. Any other questions about that?
No, sir.
How about anything else?
Not at the moment.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a little younger.
Thank you.
Not that 28, a little old or anything like that. Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
I'm glad to be here.
Any disagreement about anything you've heard me say?
No.
Okay. Right on. Is this your first time here?
Yeah, I met you in the parking lot, you asked me to stop in.
You met me at the parking lot?
Yeah, Rouse.
Oh, and I asked you, oh, yeah. I remember I was coming out of the store.
How are you?
All is well. Any questions
That's
about
right.
anything?
No, not any
Yeah, I was
vacation.
either coming out of the store, you're like, oh, gee. What, you say, are you Jesse, or I had on a shirt or something?
I recognized you and I said hello.
Oh, okay, right
You
on.
let me in kindly, so I stopped in.
I'm glad you're here. What's your first name?
John,
Thanks for coming, John.
pleasure.
Right on. Any questions about anything, anyone? Yes, sir. Are you, this your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell because, you can
Well,
keep
it's
it on, I just continue, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to.
I just wanted to ask, like, how I should, like, forgive my father.
How you should forgive who?
My father.
Okay,
He actually called me, like, a few days ago, and I really didn't answer because I didn't want to, like, talk to him. Like, we have kind of, like, a unstable relationship just because, like, as a kid, like, I don't know, he wasn't, like, there as much. And so he worked a lot and stuff like that. And I got it, you know, he worked and stuff. But, like, a lot of times, like, I was switching back and forth between my mom and my dad.
right.
And so, like, I just felt, I don't know, just kind of alone sometimes because he wasn't there to talk to me whenever I needed to kind of, like, get stuff out of my head. When I was in too much in my head, I know you say
Right.
all thoughts are lies and stuff.
Yeah,
And so, I don't know, I just, like, I've been thinking about it a lot, you know, I've been kind of, like, just wanted to just forgive him and try my best to just, like, you know, try to make some sort of relationship with him because, you know, I do love him. It's just, you know, the way, you know, I grew up, the way, you know, his tactics were, you know, when it came to discipline and stuff like that, it's just, it kind of pushed me away, you know, so it's just like, I kind of just want to, you know, just forgive him and, you know, I want to go to, like, a family reunion, you know, with everybody, but I don't know, like, if I can have, like, a good conversation with him, you know, because we're just complete opposites, I feel like. I don't know. So
when you would talk to your mother about your father growing up, what would she say?
they did not, like, get a, like, even, like, she said when I was born, like, he just straight up, like, left. Like, they weren't even in a relationship. I don't want to say, like, I was a mistake or anything, but, like, she said, like, you know, it wasn't supposed to happen, I guess. I don't know. Like, I wasn't.
Your mother told you you were not supposed to happen?
Not like that, but, like, I don't know, like once it was over, like, they didn't talk for a long time, and then she gave him that call, you know, like, I'm pregnant, like, you need to, so.
She didn't call your father and tell him that she was
No,
pregnant?
she did, but, like, they didn't talk, like, at all after that. It was just kind of like a, you know,
Oh,
like a.
so I kind of can't hardly understand you because you're
sorry.
talking. Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I'll take it off.
Yeah, just behind the back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can put it back on.
Okay.
So your mother told you when she got pregnant with you that it was like a mistake?
I'll just say it wasn't supposed to happen. I'll just.
It
like,
wasn't.
say-
She said you were not supposed to happen?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Kinda.
Well, where's your, no. And what was it like when she told you that? What did you feel like when she told you that?
I didn't really know how to take it. I was just like, oh, like, you know, I'm here now. So
You're like, how old were you when she told you that?
maybe like 15 or 16.
That's amazing, man. And what else did she say about your father?
Well, they just could not get along for anything. That's why, I mean, soon as I was born, he was pregnant with another woman. So,
Right.
you know, it was just, they just never had a good relationship. I was always back and forth, back and forth. The first time I saw him was like, I mean, maybe it wasn't the first time, but the first time like actually remember seeing him was like, maybe I was like 6 or 7, and we were like over in the East Coast, like South Carolina.
Right.
And every summer, like after that, like when I first like was with him and stuff like that, like we would just meet randomly at any random place, and I would just stay with him for the summer. You know what I mean? Like just to, you know, catch
What was
up.
it like staying with him for the summer?
Well, he already had 2 kids, and so, you know, it was nice seeing them and stuff like that. But I don't know, it still didn't feel like, you know, really a father relationship. You know,
Right.
it didn't really, you know, sit in with me. I just felt like I was just there, you know, just to hang out, you know, and so, yeah.
I totally understand it, man. I 100% understand it. How old are you now?
22.
22. And so what was it like growing up, just you and your mother, for you?
It was kind of, we had just a sort of good, bad relationship, you know, because she is a mess, like, man, beyond a mess. And
Yeah.
she's still messy today, but
Yeah.
I just, ever since I started listening to you and I've listened to a few more people and stuff, I just try to like, because I used to have a lot of anger issues, you know, and it was just like, I would just flip out, you know, but whenever we would argue and stuff like that, and, you know, she would, you know, hit me sometimes, and I just
She would do what?
like, hit me, like, you know, slap
Really?
me or, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
push me, you know, I'm your mama, you know, you're supposed to. And I would hold back, you know, because, I don't know, I was just so angry,
You
but
felt like knocking her out?
not knocking her out, but just be like, stop, you know, just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, I don't know, I try to, whenever I'm in like a bad situation or a situation that I know I could really get angry at or something, I just kind of, you know, stop, and I would just like, you know, be like, okay, you know, this is my mom, I have to respect her and do my best to just try to, you know, calm myself down. And, you know, sometimes I'd make it worse because she would just keep going, you know, she would
Yeah.
just, you know, keep yapping and yapping. I'm like, why are you still talking? Why won't you stop? But like, yeah, it was just messy, you know, I didn't know, you know, how to handle it. And she just sent me off to my dad, you know, go be a man, go be with your dad. And,
Amazing.
yeah.
So do you still live with her?
Yes.
Beta. No. Why have you moved out? How old are you?
22.
Why have you moved out?
Well, I moved over here about 5 years ago.
Over here
from my dad,
from
Virginia.
where? From where?
Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I basically like, I was just trying to, once I turned like 18, I graduated. I was just like, okay, you know, I'm gonna go to school. You know, I went to like my local community college or whatever, and I was going to school for a little bit. And then after a while, I was just like, I don't really like this anymore. And so I just started going from job to job, you know, just trying to, you know, work and save
Yeah.
up, but it hasn't happened yet.
Right on. Have you forgiven your mother for what she done to you?
No.
And why not?
Because, like, I don't know how to, you know, I feel like she's just gonna react in a certain way, and I'm not gonna know how to handle it, you know, it's like,
Oh, I understand.
you know what I mean?
You know how you get angry now, she can make you really, really angry.
Yeah.
And you can't help it. You don't want to be that way, but you can't help it.
Yeah.
She just brings it out of you. That's her inside of you. And her mother did it to her, so she cannot help herself. You know what I mean? And getting to know yourself and seeing that you can't help yourself will help you understand that she cannot help herself, and that will cause you to forgive her. It's not her, but it's the hell that made a home in her. She hated her mother. Do you know her mother?
Well, her birth mother abused her and my sister.
Yeah.
And she died a long time
She
ago.
did?
Yeah, she did. But her other mother, stepmother, I don't know. God, I didn't really even know her like that. She died, you know.
Everybody
And we just
did.
called her grandma. You know,
Yeah.
so.
But listen, that's how you forgive your mother, by realizing you can't help yourself. You're controlled by this. Just go to her and say, look, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you can't help yourself because you have become like her. You become like whomever makes you angry, you become like them. So you have your mother's identity, not your own. Don't ask for forgiveness from her. Don't be, oh, I love you, but, because you don't love her, right? You will love her once you forgive her with the real love. But go to her, you're going to be shaking in your boots, and just shaking your boots, cry, whatever happened. Just say, I just want to tell you I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize you can't help it. And God will forgive you, and he will take all that anger away from you, and you will finally become yourself again.
Well, what if, like, she just can't accept it? Like, she just, like...
That's fine. She doesn't let her live her hell. That's on her. That's why God said for each individual to forgive, and he will forgive you and set you free, and you will start a new generation. But let her live and die like that. That's on her.
It's just kind of funny, too, because my girlfriend, well, my ex, she was just the same way as my mom. Like,
Yes. Every woman you get involved with will be mama because you're attracted to what you hate, right? But once you overcome your mother, you will no longer be attracted to that spirit. And you will see it. And the girls that you get involved with, they'll try to be sweet and holy and all that, but you'll see it's not real, and you'll be able to avoid it. God would allow you to see it, and you'll be able to avoid that, and then he will put the right woman in your life, and it'll be amazing. But you got to shake in your boot and deal with your mother.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
So what now?
It's going to be hard, you know.
Yeah, I know. But it would be the hardest thing you ever had to do in your life. Everything else would be easy. But you got to face her so you can get your courage back. And don't argue with her. Don't try to convince her of anything. She's going to call you names. She might not. Have a wait and see because you don't know exactly how she's going to act.
And, like, the same thing for my dad. So I just
Absolutely.
call him and just be like, you know, I forgive you.
Yeah, no, I would ask him, why did you not protect me from my mother? Why did you leave me? And you'll see he couldn't deal with your mother because your mother is his mother. And when men don't overcome their mothers, they can't deal with women in the right way. And so by seeing that your father could not help himself would cause you to forgive him, and that yearning for a father would disappear. It'll be gone away from him. But ask him, hey, I wanted you, I needed you. Why did you be there for me? Why did you protect me? And he would tell you. And you're going to see he went through exactly what you're going through right now. Might be a different situation, but it's the same spirit. And then you would love your father, and back to God you will go.
I just have, like, one more question. Like,
Yeah, help yourself.
Like, okay, I'll just say, like, for my stepbrother, like, with my dad,
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Like, he kind of resents him too, and he's in Virginia too, but, I mean, it just kind of feels like they get along, but I don't think that much, so should I just tell my brother, like, hey, you know, you should forgive, you know, dad too. You know, he kind of messes with a little bit too.
He resents him too. Because your father didn't just walk away from you. He's not protecting them either because he can't deal with the spirit of the woman. So they do resent him. My stepbrothers and sisters, I hate to call them stepbrothers because I feel like one with them. They hated my father too, right? And once I forgave my father, whenever I would go back to Indiana to visit, he would always have a family meeting to try to get them to forgive him. And then my brothers eventually forgave him, but my sister won't. I don't think she ever, he dead now, he dead. But my father, I don't think my sister ever forgave him. But I guess it's hard, well, not I guess, it's harder for women to, not all, but most to forgive than their men.
If I'm being honest, like my little sister, I see my mom and my little sister so much.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It's a spirit, it's not them, it's that spirit that made a home in them. And it making them do the things they can't do or don't want to do. Your mother and father want to love you, but they just can't, they don't have it. They only have anger. Anyone who has anger has no love, because that's the nature of Satan. But you got to face her and him so you can go free. And you're going to be afraid just that time. After that, it'll be fine. You start to grow up. And then find a job and save some money, find a little hole in the wall, move out, and one thing will lead to another one. It really will.
Thank you.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Not every day.
And why not?
I don't know. I just wake up and my mind's on other things
Yeah.
sometimes.
And that's what Satan wants you to be. The last thing he wants you to do is to be still and know the Father. He wants you to be thinking about things. I got to go to work, whatever, right? Because he wants to keep you in the darkness of imagination. But do the prayer, no matter what. Wake up and do it. And you will see you will grow away from it.
Thank you.
But so do it, all right? Make sure you stay with it. Amazing, man. Any other question about anything?
I'm sure I'll think of some. to
Okay,
be
if you do,
honest.
let me know.
Thank you.
Any disagreement about anything you've heard on the video?
I actually did have one, but I can't remember it now.
Oh, okay, if you do, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
But face your mother so you can overcome fear. And you can forgive. And you're going to love your parent with perfect love after that. And you'll grow up and you'll just grow up, but stay with the prayer, stay with the prayer, stay with the prayer. Don't ever stop. Then you'll find yourself living that way. You'll be in the light instead of in your head. All right?
Okay.
Amazing. Good, man. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Amazing. No? Okay, I have a question. How many of you have friends? At least one friend. Oh, everybody have a friend except me. Let me see again. Who have friends? Oh, okay. How do you see your friends or your friend?
I would say, well, because I have like 4 good buddies, but I have like a lot of like, what do you call it? Acquaintances. Yeah,
Right.
associates. Yeah, that.
Yeah. The one that's the closest to you, how do you see him?
He could be better.
He could be better? Oh, okay. Have you told him that?
I try to tell him all the time, but just the decisions that he makes is just like, I just say, like you said, you can listen to me, but if not, you just suffer and die if not.
Right. That's right. You have a friend?
Yes.
And is it a close friend?
Yes.
And how do you, is it a girl?
Yes.
How do you see her?
I'm thinking of 2 people, so I'm trying to see. It's admiration and
You admire your friend?
yes.
And why do you admire, if you can say, why do you admire her?
Doing things out of the space of comfortability, like taking risks that I wouldn't normally take myself.
Oh, okay.
So inspiration, I would say, for the most part.
She inspires you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would more so say it challenges me because most women in my family, well, the women immediately in my family, say my household, they do things that are out of the ordinary.
All right.
And I feel like I'm kind of out of the ordinary. So I'm inspired by people doing things differently.
What is can you give me an example of one thing that's out of the ordinary?
I would say for me, I don't believe in wearing makeup. So going, my mom rose me to try to stay natural, don't try to follow the crowd, and say with the way I look, my hair, nails. So try not to conform to society. So I look for that in the people I surround myself with.
Oh, okay.
I look for the oddities, I guess. So if I like their oddities, I attract to them for that reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks.
You have a friend? Thank you for telling your friend the truth. And bring her back to the Father. That is so cool. You have a close friend.
Yes.
And how do you see her? It's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
how do
her.
you see? Oh, it's her.
It's her.
And how do you see her?
She inspires me to be a better person. I really feel like God has brought her to me.
Oh, okay.
I had really fake friends. I still have fake friends. And I've always prayed that I would have a true friend because I moved around all my life.
Right.
And I wasn't able to have stable relationships. So I was like, and I would just see so many catty girls. Like, I would hang out with dudes because it was just way easier to hang out with dudes than girls because they're just like gossipy or like fake. So I was like pray like I would have a true friend, and I think like
Right
God
on.
brought her to me, and she's like, she has more experience with life and reality, and I'm like still at the naive point. So she's like always keeping. I guess I'm growing. She's just there with me,
Right on.
and she's like the big sister I never had. So
Nice. Are you doing the silent prayer
yes,
every morning, every night?
no,
You say no?
yeah, it's my ego.
What the?
Yes.
Why aren't you doing it every morning, every night?
I always feel like I have to go some places. Like my ego is just like really huge. It's like I have to go. Like I can't stop moving. Like even I do silent prayer, it's like short now. It used to be a lot longer,
Right.
but now it's shorter because I'm like I'm doing well, but I'm also doing so much that I feel like I don't have enough time, or like no matter how long I do it, it's not enough.
Oh, amazing. And who tell you that it's not enough?
Satan,
Right. And why are you listening to him?
I'm just used to it.
Right. That's why you need to do the silent prayer, so that you can stop listening to that, because he doesn't want you to do it. And that's not you telling yourself, oh, it's not enough, or I don't have time. It's him telling you that. All thoughts are all lies all the time about all things. So it's not you doing that to yourself. You're still listening to the voice of the lie. I recommend you do it, and you're going to find that you have more. You get everything done in a day and have time to waste. You really will. It's just you're outside of time by being in your head. You're not in the present, and so it feels like you don't have time, but you have time for it. So make sure you start doing it. All right.
I would even like we just suggest setting an alarm and stuff because I
If
forget.
that's what it takes. After a while, you won't need the alarm, but if that's what it takes to wake up, you're a millennial, right?
I'm in Z.
You're a Z?
Yes.
Wow, yeah, you need 2 or 3 alarms. Millennials need alarms. I don't use an alarm at all. I get up at 3 in the morning, and I just wake up, right? We have an inner clock, but millennials, you got to come back to it. All right, so yeah, I have 2 or 3 alarms. One at the bed, one on the couch, wherever you have to get you out of the bed.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah, set your alarm. Because I really want you to know you need to pray, especially now that you're on your way back to the Father. All right? So you want to stay with him. You want to grow in him. All right? So make sure you do it.
Will do.
Any question about anything?
I asked like this question back in April, but I'll ask again. I asked the question. I'm waiting for marriage, and so I was going on a date, and you don't tell the guy that you're waiting for marriage, and then the guy asked me to be his girlfriend, but I thought I should tell him to see his reaction. I'm waiting till marriage. He got so angry at me and dumped me. So I'm like,
Nice.
Are we still telling people? Because I feel like I told another guy, and he's like, you need to tell them because they don't want to waste their time, you know? So I was still wondering, like, do I tell them, like,
That you're waiting for marriage?
yes?
Absolutely. Women need to have a standard. They have no standard now. And so by you telling him that, he knows there's a line he cannot cross. And then if he leaves, be grateful that he left because it's not for you. He's just there for something else and not for you. And he would never make for a good husband or a good father because he would cheat on you and everything after marriage. So absolutely.
Because I remember you said, it's none of their business, don't tell them. But when I told him, he got so angry.
If he tried to cross the line, you say, no, I'm waiting for marriage, right? If he's not trying to cross the line, you don't need to make the announcement. You just date without crossing the line, and you will see if this is the right guy for you. But if he is trying to cross the line, no, I'm waiting for marriage. And if he said, oh my God, I got to go to Sweden,
And I tried to introduce him to you, and then he was like, "Is this a cult? Are you in a cult?" And he called me crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh God."
Because hell think heaven is crazy. Out of control people think people who are in control are crazy because they're so out of control. They're supposed to see it that way. But I wouldn't look for a man right now. Make sure you don't look. You only seek the kingdom of God in his right way, and it'll be added to you. It really will. If it's meant to be, and if it's not meant to be, you will still have peace as though nothing is missing. You should only seek the kingdom of God in his right way, not a man or anything. All right? So yeah, if they run, bye. Be glad to tell him to move over to Sweden. Y'all heard about Sweden, right?
Yes.
All the guys have moved to Sweden. You heard about that?
I listen to your podcast. I
Oh.
listen to it every day.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Yeah.
So the gym is empty now. I told all the guys about it at the gym. They all went to Sweden. No, I'm saying, but no, don't look for a guy. Just seek the kingdom of God and live your life, and life will be added to you. It'll be amazing. He knows what you want. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we need. He will add it to you. All right?
Sounds good.
Right on. Any other questions?
Not at the moment.
Yeah. And then if that loneliness that you feel for a family or something like that, if you do the prayer, it will disappear too, because God will fulfill you. All right? Who else have friends? Oh, you have a friend? And then I come to you.
Yeah, I think so. I was actually thinking about this last night. I realized most people that I would consider friends probably just are in my life because they either want something from me or I want something from them, or they have they want to surround themselves with people that I'm probably like. But I would say, yeah, there's some people that they don't have any expectations from me or anything. They're just in my life.
And so you have a close friend right now.
Yeah, I'd say I have several.
You have several close friends?
Yeah.
And
I don't know close, but I would consider them friends, yeah.
How do you see them?
What do you mean?
How do you see your close friends?
I mean, they're not perfect, but I don't really judge them. Like, they're not, I wouldn't say they're like upstanding individuals or anything. But I just consider them friends because I think, we've known each other since really young age. Like, we would help each other. We will help each other out, not because we feel obligated or anything, because we genuinely want to. I don't think they're, I don't think we use each other for anything. I think we're just, we enjoy being around each other.
Amazing. You have a friend?
Yes.
Right here. You have a close friend?
I have a few.
A few close friends?
Yes.
And how do you see them?
Well, the same way I view myself. We're all flawed.
So you see that your friends are fallen?
Well, not fallen, just flawed.
Flawed.
Yes.
And you still like them?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Do you tell them they're flawed?
Yes.
And how do they deal with it?
They work on it. They understand. It's the same thing with, I think, as we age, we know that we have flaws, right? And there are things that we all try to be better, right, every day. And sometimes some of my friends like the drama, the attention, whatever it may be. And I think for me, I don't like the drama, but I get stuck on my own problems. So I think it's just like we're more like a sounding board.
Right.
In the sense of we're there to kind of support each other, talk about our problems. Sometimes it might be shared problems,
How do you get stuck on your problems?
I know what I should be doing and I don't.
And so you have a problem, you're stuck, you know what to do, but you don't.
Yes.
And why not? Why would you be stuck if you know how to get out?
I think it's sometimes it's low grade depression, right? Just being in that moment for so long, you just feel stuck in it. And also, I think it's just mostly that, right? Most of us get that feeling where it's scary, or you've been in it for so long, you're just there, and instead of being a better person and just kind of like dealing with the problem head on.
So
You're not being
you have
accountable.
low-grade depression?
Yes.
What does that feel like?
For the most part, I would say it's hard to find joy sometimes.
Who?
It's hard to find joy.
Joy Behar?
Yes, Joy Behar, yes.
Is that Joy Behar on MSNBC? That woman just as crazy as they come. I mean, Joy Reid. Joy Behar crazy too. Yeah, both of them crazy. And the reason I was thinking about Joy Reid, because I was having to watch the news this morning, and somebody was asking, why is there so much attention on the death of this white girl that was allegedly killed by some white guy? And Joy Reid said it was white, what, James? Missing white girl syndrome. I'm like, what the? How do you come up with that? You know Satan's busy, right? She has to be really in her head to be thinking that. But, and so tell me again, it feels like what now?
It's hard to find joy.
Oh, I see.
You know, in the sense of, I think we get all inundated with like what's going on in the world, and then you start thinking of your own problems. Yeah, the silent prayer helps, but I think still, it's like you say, it's a work in progress, right? Like it's not like suddenly you get it, where it's like it just goes away. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Did you go and forgive your mother?
Yes.
And how did that go?
She's just not really aware. Like for her, it's just like, oh, okay, sure.
And how did it go for you?
I would say it was okay for me in the sense of I've been taking care of my elderly parents for a while. And
Man,
for
I'm sorry to hear that.
for seeing that, you start seeing everyone's human, right? Like it's not this pedestal that you put your parents on. Everyone has their flaws.
But did you forgive her?
I have,
You did?
Yeah.
Did you tell her that?
yes.
Oh, okay. How about your father?
He passed away,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer
yes.
every morning, every night?
I'm going to say about 8 out of 10. So, you know, for maybe once or twice, I'm not doing it like morning at night. I might be doing just morning. I might be doing morning and night, or I just do night.
Every morning, every night?
I try.
Every morning, every night?
I try to do every morning, every night.
Every morning, every night?
No.
Why can't you just say no? What the? And why not every morning? This is so interesting that I tell you the prayer to be still and know God is the way to go, right? There's no other way but to go forgive, be still and know Him, and you'll be fine. You'll grow. But people won't do it, won't stick with it. Isn't that amazing? What do you think, and I'm not yelling at you, but what do you think going to happen if you don't do it?
If I don't,
Right.
stay where I am.
And are you happy in your whole,
No.
and you do a little low-grade depression?
No.
You're not happy there, right?
No.
And so why don't you do it so you can overcome that? Because happiness is not what you want. It comes and goes. You want peace, and peace lasts forever. Nothing can take it away.
I think it's like what everyone says, right? It's you're too busy sometimes, or in my case, busy day, kind of fall asleep, you know, like, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I need to wash up and go to bed.
So you're not tired of suffering?
I am.
No, you're not.
No, you're right. My actions are stating that
That's
I'm
right.
not.
And it's interesting that God would just let you suffer, huh? You're in a little low-grade depression. He won't do anything about it unless you seek Him, right?
Of course.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
I would do the silent prayer. Do the prayer if you want to overcome this stuff.
I think it's
Because
hard.
it's a spiritual battle, and there's a warfare going on in you between good and evil, the light and the darkness fighting inside of you. And the light can't defeat the darkness unless you be still and allow it to happen. Because you can't do anything about it. What?
Nothing.
Amazing. But you got to do the prayer if you want to overcome. No human being can do that for you.
No, and I'm not looking for outsiders to fix my problem.
Right.
But it's really hard, like I said, where you have people, not even friends, just acquaintances that you have around you, and they're suffering maybe some kind of the same issue, or, and it's just misery likes company, right? So it's like you start venting to each other, then it just turns into this whole like, wow, Debbie Downer session.
But get rid of them.
Well, I mean, I'm not close friends with them. They're acquaintances.
Oh.
But it's really hard because, like I said, as I've gotten older, my friend group has gotten smaller and smaller. I have a lot more acquaintances, and it's really bad because.
But in reality, there's no such thing as problems. And in reality, there's no such thing as low-grade depression and all that. You're in darkness, and you just can't see it. You have no love. And because you don't have the love, you just have no life. And all these words are just made up to keep, low-grade depression, high-grade depression, suicide. It's just made up words to make you stay there rather than it's a battle between good and evil. And right now you're in darkness, and that's why you have no life in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you need light, and that comes from God. You're not depressed, you're in darkness.
Okay.
They make up words to keep you away from the light. And then they'll give you medication, all kind of crazy stuff. So do the prayer, because there's no such thing as problems. You're just in darkness. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You been here before?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing the prayer?
Every night, every day. Yes, sir.
You have friends?
I pondered on it a little bit. No.
You have none?
51 years old, and no.
Oh, good.
I can't say I have a friend. at all.
Nice.
I only have God, really.
That's right.
But every night and we went through it, Jesse. You helped me so much since 2016. Heart attack, 2 strokes. Been here to a couple of your meetings. I'm black, from
You black.
Chicago. Everything that you say is so real and it's so true. I did it all wrong. I was the one that thought that I could do it right and all this and that. And every time I turned around, it was something going wrong and didn't understand it. But now that I do understand it, it's amazing.
Nice.
I thought I lost kids, dogs, and all that. Ended up by myself. Didn't end up by myself. Man. So right now, all I'm doing is living. So to all the young people that are fighting with it, Earl and all those people.
Who?
You know, I kind of understand what, I don't understand, but I know kind of what, because they fighting.
Yeah.
They call you up because they already know that you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
But what man can handle another man telling them that they're a woman? Most especially black men, they can't take it. They can't take it. They hold on to groups, gangs, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Amazing.
Anyway.
Well, okay, I got to move on. Well, do you have friends? And then I got to tell you why I asked this question. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
12 years old. Thanks for the cookies. She baked some cookies and brought it for the office. Not for y'all. It's for the office. Do you have friends?
Well, as an extroverted child, I do talk to lots of people in my classes, but when it comes to closer friends that I may look up to or assist when they're down, I would say that I do have around like 2 or 3, yes.
And how do you feel about your friend? How do you see them?
For the most part, I look up to them. They teach me lots of lessons, but I think my closest one is currently in a pretty bad fallen state, so I try to do whatever I can to push her up, you know?
Right on. Okay. The reason I ask this is because where's Chris? You gonna attack on that person?
That sounded like something Bill did or something. Yeah, I think that was over
Oh,
the PA.
all right. That was Bill. What's gonna happen to those who do the silent prayer? You go and forgive, and you do the silent prayer. Oh, let me ask this first. Then I'll tell you what it is. And just another part two to this. The guy in the suffer and die shirt. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself?
In what way?
That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, right. I mean, spiritually, being born again, I guess, looking at things with new eyes. But are you asking for my past to now, or?
How do you see yourself?
Good question. Improving.
Improving?
Yeah.
Okay. You see yourself as improving.
Yes.
From what to what?
From a fallen state to
Okay.
a better man.
Okay. These are the kind of things I think about during the day. Well, y'all think about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear. I'm like thinking about, wow, what about this? What about that? The reason I asked that is that, so I was thinking about, I realized the other morning, I don't see myself any kind of a way. Really, I don't see myself any kind of way. I don't see myself with problems. I don't see myself as good or bad. It's just like, I have no opinion of myself. And I don't know when that happened. It just kind of, one day it became that way, right? Because what I noticed, and then I was thinking about friends. And I talk to a lot of folks around the country every day, except Fridays. And everybody have the same problem. They see themselves as good or negative way or good way, or they worry about how they look or don't look, or what others think about them or don't think about them. And then as far as friendships, they have a perception of their friends. And when their friends don't live up to that perception or disappoint them in any way, and it affects the perception of them, they are no longer friends. Because they saw one thing that they disagree with. Oh, I thought this person was like that, right? They have an image of the friend. And then when that image is affected, the friendship is over. Because that person had something they didn't see. And I was thinking about friends. When I was growing up, I had friends. But as a kid, kids don't have perception of a friend. You just have a friend. And you run around, you play, you laugh, you get mad at each other, yeah. But you still stay friends as little children. And I grew up like that. I never in my whole life had a perception of my friends. And I guess because I was born in the country, and that's the way country people live, right? And I noticed that the people I grew up with, my close friends, we're still close friends. We've had disagreements, we've had arguments. There was time had gone by when we didn't talk, but it didn't change anything. When we did talk, it was like nothing happened, because I never had a perception of them. I didn't think they were holy or not holy or this or that, right? And when you don't have an image, a perception, then all is well all the time. A person can do wrong, what you think is wrong, and it won't affect you because you have no perception. This is your friend, right? But what I notice is that because most people in that fallen state, they're judging themselves and other people, they can't stay as friends because they have the wrong idea about friendship. You're not supposed to have an image or perception of anything or anybody, because that image or perception is coming from your ego. It's something that Satan gives you, and it's based on a lie. It's based on an illusion, right? And so when you overcome the anger and you stay with the prayer, you live by the light, and you're going to grow in the light. And in that light, you're going to lose all perception of time, of friendship, and enemies, and everything. Words won't hurt you anymore. I did a radio show the other day. Was it an online podcast thing? Clubhouse thing. And then the black people got so mad at me, they called me every name in the book. They even asked me, how do you feel when someone call you a coon? I said, I don't feel anything about it. I'm okay with that. And then they just lined up and called me coon. I'm like, didn't I tell you I didn't feel anything? I told them I don't feel anything about it. And they lined up and called me a coon. I was like, what the? But God will cause you to be in the world, but not of it. Really. It's going to be so amazing. And you can get along with anybody. You can argue, don't argue. People who turn against you, it wouldn't bother you one iota because you had no perception of that. It was just another person you were hanging out with, talking to, whatever, right? Go for dinner. There's no such thing as problems. There's literally no such thing. That's a lie too, in the head, because you're struggling trying to make things be the way you want them to be, or the way you think you want them to be, and so it becomes a problem. That's a setup. There is a perfect way of living, but you got to grow into it out of the darkness. You've been traumatized. Your mother's turned you away from your fathers, and that turns you away from God. Now you're living in darkness. But if you stick to the prayer, because I know you want it, you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to overcome. And so you want it, but I'm telling you, I have to stick to the prayer because Satan be trying to deceive me too. But I can see it now and let it pass. But when you're in darkness, you can't see the thoughts, and some thoughts seem to be true, and they are not. I would tell y'all this story. A friend of mine lost his mama. He couldn't find his mama for a day. It was a mess. My friend was all holy until he couldn't find his mama. I was like, what's wrong? I went, my mama gone. Where is she? I don't know yet. But he realized he was in his mind, and it wasn't real, so he learned from it. Satan said, oh, your mama gone, right? Right? And he believed it. And even though he knew he should not believe it, but the beauty is he learned from it, that was a lie. The thoughts are lies, right? All thoughts are all lies all the time. There is a perfect way of living. It really is. Just like there is an imperfect way of living in that fallen state. So you got to do the prayer so you can come before the Father within. The kingdom of heaven is within. The teacher, God said, let no man teach you. You have a teacher. He said the kingdom of heaven is within. It's there. He will add all things unto you. He'll take care of you. He will take care of you just like Satan is trying to take care of you by destroying you. And so what I want to do, I want Chris to read, and let me just say this, and then I want Chris to read something for you in the Word. In the beginning, that was the Word. And this is so good, right? Well, at least I know it is. And all by ourselves, we can literally do nothing. We can't change anything. We cannot change ourselves. You can't make yourself be good. You can't make yourself overcome your vices. That's why it's ridiculous, it's crazy to judge yourself or hate yourself because you can't overcome the vices. You're mad at yourself because, oh, I didn't want to take a drink. I took another drink. Now I'm drunk. I didn't want to smoke a joint or whatever, right? I didn't want to have sex, but I had sex. Now I'm lost. No, you're not. You can't, don't struggle with it. Of ourselves, we can do nothing, and of ourselves, we know nothing. But God will cause us to have perfect peace and live a perfect life. He will cause you to do that. We can't make ourselves be that way. How many of you, and then while Jay, let me know when you're ready. You ready? Oh, how many of you are convinced, absolutely convinced that of yourself you could do nothing and that you know nothing? So nobody who think that they can do something about themselves. You can be honest, I'm not going to yell, it's just fellowship. Oh, you do? Amazing. Why do you think that?
I have to remind myself that I can't. Oh, sorry. Thanks. I have to remind myself that I can't, because I always think, like, we can control whether to do the silent prayer. We can control, based our weight, what we eat, and when to exercise. That is what I feel like some things we can control. But then there's
But
those
you
thoughts.
can't even control doing the silent prayer. Because if you did, you wouldn't let Satan talk you out of, oh, you're too busy. You this, right? You just have to get up and do it. Even when the voice is telling you you don't have time, and that, you have to do it anyway. That makes sense? You say you can control it or you can't?
I can't, but I have to remind myself that I
Or you
can't.
tell
But I
yourself
try
that-
to control
yeah.
it, but it's like, yeah.
There's literally absolutely nothing that you can do of yourself. Really. You can't change one iota of a thing by yourself. It's spiritual. Everything is spiritual. We are a spirit. We're not this body. And Satan is lying to you about those things. You might as well relax and just enjoy your life. Really. Relax, enjoy your life, stay with the prayer. Speak up, but don't resent. And if you fall into the mud, just say, oh, that's stupid, I'm in the mud. You saw that guy on my show that got shot in the head? Anybody saw that? Oh, that was amazing, huh? The guy got shot in the head, he's been shot everywhere, in the eye, right? And and during the show, he took the eye out. I'm like, what the? And then he just put it back in. And I was thinking, if you get shot that many times, look like you ought to just die. But if you don't die, look, that's enough for me to seek God. I don't need any more warning, you know what I'm saying? I would just give up. But I want you to know of yourself, you can do nothing. It's a lie that you can. It's not true. Really, you can't do anything. And when you see that, when you recognize the voice of God and the voice of Satan, you're going to see Satan is lying to you about everything. He's just lying to you. All right? It's not true. We're not in control of anything. And in that fallen state, it has never been your fault. Whatever you did, it wasn't your fault. You were not guilty. You were lied to. You were not guilty. It was your parents' fault because they were not perfect examples for you, and they caused you to fall into those things. And then they made you feel guilty. You need to do better. Go out and be a man. You can't just go out and be a man. You know what I'm saying? They made you into a woman, now they tell you go be a man. It doesn't work that way. Now you're feeling guilty because you can't be a man. It's all a lie.
Become accountable by just doing the silent prayer, because I'm like, how do you keep accountability?
By doing the silent prayer, and the light of God will cause you to do the right thing. You can't keep accountability on your own. That's another illusion. Because when you don't keep accountable, and what is accountability anyway?
Like, you're responsible for waking up and doing the silent prayer. You're responsible for going to the gym, working out. You're responsible for going to work.
Oh, you see my muscles, right? No, I'm playing. What's going to happen when you come back to the Father? You're going to have a natural energy of life. And in that life, it won't be hard to wake up in the morning. You wouldn't be burdened down by going to the gym. It would be amazing. You wouldn't worry about work. You just go to work and do your job because you won't be in your head. You'll live by the real energy of life, and it will guide you. And it will cause you to just do what you got to do. You wouldn't think of accountability, though. It would just be the road that you're traveling. And you will have the right energy. And then when Satan tries to talk you out of it, you wake up, you got to go to the gym, right? And you're like, oh, don't go right now. Go tonight or tomorrow. He wouldn't be able to talk to you out of it because you know that voice is a lie. Really, you just naturally do it. And you wouldn't think about accountability. It'll just be life. You will just be living your life. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just living my life. I'm just living my life without any effort at all. No effort. Really. And God loves us. That's how he wants us to live. He'll take care of you. But you got to come back to him. You must be born of the Father. So I want you to hear this, and you're going to hear it first, and then I get feedback. Okay. You can come on. Yeah. This is one of my experts.
Which one should I read first, Jeremiah or Ezekiel? James gave me two.
Which one you normally read first, Dave?
Jeremiah, I guess.
Okay. Let's see here. Jeremiah 31, 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. This is 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. That's Jeremiah 31, 33, and 34. Now the second one?
Yes.
Okay. This is Ezekiel 36, 25, 26, 27. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. It's Ezekiel 36, 25, 26, and 27.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing. So, any question about that? Yes, sir.
Would you say like the Lord, like it's inside of us, like it's in us?
It's totally in us. The kingdom of heaven, a new commandment I give you, and I will put it in your heart. A new reality. The kingdom of heaven is within. It's hidden from the children of Satan, and it's within us. It's up there too, but here on earth, it's here. Everything you need. That's why you shouldn't let anyone teach you the Bible and all that, because you have a teacher within, the Holy Spirit. He will teach you. And life is bigger than the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to walk around with the Bible every day when somebody cuss you out? What am I supposed to do now? When they call you cool, oh, wait a minute, let me go to 1 John. Oh, when Satan said, you're not going to the gym this morning. Oh, hold on, Satan. But it's inside you already. Everything you are, everything you want to know, all the love you need, the light is inside of you.
And so the silent prayer, like will that kind of like just not, I mean, I guess guide you and open up kind of like, you know, the Lord, I guess, inside.
What happens is, and I didn't know this until it happened. So listen, I'm learning as I'm teaching. I'm learning, and I'm not teaching, I'm pointing, right? But I'm learning as I go. That's why I share all this good news to you, because I'm realizing things every day almost, right? And so what happens is this silent prayer slow you down, because you're racing in your head. You're trying to learn this and learn that, be this and be that, right? And you're asking God, oh, Lord, help me, bless my mama, you know, and all that, right? So when it does, all that stuff comes from your head, right? But he slows you down, then he draw you in. He allow you to see the difference between the darkness and the light. But what draw you into the kingdom of heaven is when you forgive. When you go and forgive your mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realized you couldn't help it, and she started yelling and crazy. And you look at her like you're looking at a crazy movie. And if she cry and yell and scream, or if she say, I'm sorry, or if she fall out and die. The only thing I request, if she fall out and die, go into the kitchen and look in that drawer right next to the knives. There's some life insurance in there. Go and turn it in before your brothers and sisters find out. But once you forgive your mother, God's going to take away that evil spirit away and draw you into this kingdom. You'll find yourself living it, because he's already there, you're just not aware of it. He's going to draw you in and make you aware, and you start living from that.
Because I just want to say, like, a lot of times you talk about, like, you know, when you're being still and, you know, and you can't really, or you can't, like, do anything about,
right.
You know, like, stuff like that. I find myself, like, judging myself a lot whenever I don't get anything done, or, you know, like, I'm like, man, you know, I could have did this, you know, I had all this time, you know, blah, blah, blah. and like, or, you know, I could have did this different, you know, with this person, you know, and now, you know, they're wherever, or it's just like I find myself just judging myself kind of constantly in my head, like, okay, I try to like, you know, I try to just like, you know, grab all my thoughts and just take them one by one, you know, like, okay, you know, I can do this, you know, okay, I'll do this, and I can do this.
That's
you
a
know.
setup. It's all lies. And that's not you judging yourself. That's Satan judging you, but it sounds like you. It sounds like you're talking to yourself, right? And then you're basing that life on what other people have done and what they say they have done and how great they are, right? So you're trying to live up to what you've heard or what they say. It's not that way. That's not the way to go. You will become yourself and live your life and wish everybody else well, and your life will be amazing. They'll be stressed out, and your life will be amazing. It will be easy. But the kingdom of heaven is inside of us. And the Bible tells you that, but the preachers won't tell you that from the Bible. They'll skip over that. Or if they mention it in the church, they go past it real fast because they don't understand it. But the kingdom, and no man can enter that kingdom except God draw them into it. He have to do it.
So like, when it comes to like the ego, like, is it important to just try to let go of it? Like when it, like self-image, like don't have a certain image of yourself or anything like that. Just
When you doubt every thought is a lie, right? When you doubt every thought, you cannot have an image of yourself. Because when you doubt the lie, the only thing left is faith in God. You can't help but live by faith. And so when you doubt the lie, you won't have an image of yourself. We should have image of ourselves. We're not God. And Satan make us create an image of ourselves, right? Make us play God.
And that's what happens. Like, as soon as I hear something, like about like, or what somebody said about me or something like that, I'm just like, you know, I try to reflect on myself and be like, how can I change that? But then it's
Right.
like, you know, don't, you know.
Let that pass. That's Satan playing a game on you. And if you don't do it, you start judging yourself some more. Why is that person able to do it, but I'm not? You know, you think less of yourself. Now you want to commit suicide because you're not living up to what they are. You don't have what they have. And those people who are telling you all that mess, they're not happy. They may have a lot of money and live in the hills somewhere, but they are miserable. At night, oh, that's another thing. Is Nick here? I was telling Nick about this. We went down to the San Diego area and I was telling him about this image, and he reminded me that even your movie stars and entertainers, you were telling me that they pay people to keep a false image going to them, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Problem.
Yeah, we were talking about you know, the images that people have, but you see in the news that celebrities will be, oh, they got caught by the paparazzi doing this or that news story, but that's actually very common that celebrities will pay for that. Those things are scripted. Paparazzi events are scripted, and they know the image that the public has of them,
Right.
and they try and tailor it and keep it going.
So they want you to see them as wonderful so they can keep taking your money. You can keep treating them a certain way, and you want to be a movie star. You want to be happy like that. But those people are not happy. They're paying people to keep a false image of them out there. All right? So it's not real. They're just regular folks who need Jesus too, right? They're not happy people at all. But you're struggling trying to be like them, and then you may become a movie star, but you'll just be miserable. You'll be a miserable movie star instead of just walking in your natural path. All right? So the way to overcome the image is to overcome the thoughts. Let every thought pass about everything. And I'm telling you, I've been doing it for 31 years, 32 years now. Eventually, and I didn't notice, I'm discovering as I go, right? You get further and further away from them, and if you do get one, you know how in the Bible it says, tell Satan to get behind you or something like that? Get behind me, Satan. What it means is when you get those, after a while, he said, my children shall know my voice, right? So now you remember the voice of God, and you also know the voice of Satan. And so after a while, Satan will come, but you know it's Satan's voice, and you'll let it go. That's like telling the devil, get behind you. You're resisting it because you now recognize your Father's voice. Everything you're looking for is inside, and he will cause those things to happen. You can't make them happen. You didn't put yourself in this hole. Satan put you in this hole by making you believe lies, making you judge yourself. But you thought it was you, and it was never you. It was never you. There is no you. That image you have of yourself is a false image. Isn't that amazing? You've been living in hell for no reason. When you could have been having paradise, if your parents had been, or my parents had been of any good, had been perfect parents, you would not have had to go through any of this. You really, because you would not have fallen into hate. You would love your parents. You would not be judging them. And because you grew up not judging your parents, you wouldn't judge yourself or others. You would have already had paradise on earth. Don't you want to go and just kill your parents? They made you suffer unnecessarily, and then they blame you for it. That old no good child of mine. Do white parents say no good child of mine? No. Lord, my child ain't no good. They don't even take credit for screwing up your life. They made you think you did it. Nobody want to screw up their own life. You're going to have like a perfect life, right? You walk on that road, you think, wow, my life is perfect. I think I just want to screw it up. Let me go rob a bank. It's never with you. Stop taking credit for it. Stop trying to fight it. Seek the Father, and He will cause you to overcome it. He's given us a new heaven. Christ came and gave us a way out. He created a new heaven for us. He created, a Bible preacher is not supposed to be teaching you the Bible. He's supposed to point you back to the source that would reveal all things to you. Because once you learn it, it builds the ego. It makes you think you know it and you don't. You know the Bible, but you don't know God. We have a teacher. Really, we have a teacher. Isn't that like amazing? And He will cause you to become righteous. You can't make yourself right. He will cause you to have peace. He will cause you to love and not hate. All right? Amazing. Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions about the...
Oh, let me say, you can't figure this out, right? Because they go in your head, oh Lord, now you got to make yourself go inside. How do I get in there? You're in there now. He'll lie to you about that too, right? Whatever the thoughts tell you about anything, at any time, even when you lose your mama. I can't find my mama. It's not that. Mexico, why are you looking at Samuel? Oh. Eric, why are you laughing at Samuel?
It's out. It was me.
Samuel lost his mama. Tell me the story, though. It's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal at all. So on Friday, I cleaned the bond office building, right? So then my mom asked me in the morning, she had to go to the hospital, which is right down the street somewhere.
See the sign now, right there. She could walk down there, really. It's so close to us.
Yeah.
Not that she should walk, but I'm just saying that's how close it is.
Yeah. So I drop her off, and then I come to work. And then I told her, when I left her, I said, hey, just call me when you're done, and we'll see if I'm finished. And if I'm finished, I'll go pick you up. And if not, you got to find your way home. So she calls me, and I'm still working, so I say, I can't pick you up. And then she's like, okay, this lady told me to get on this bus. I'm gonna just get on this bus. And I'm like, okay. I just hang up. And then Satan tells me, you know what? Tell her to call her back and tell her that she should be careful because there's a bunch of like crazy people out on the streets now, just so she's like safe on a bus, right? So I called her back and she didn't pick up. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Suffer and die, you know? Nah, just playing. But I was like, all right, cool. Well, I couldn't get through to her. I don't know what it was. So then an hour later, Satan tells me, I'm still working. I'm like working, cleaning. And then Satan tells me, man, your mom never called you back. Like, what's up with that? What's going on? So then I'm like, I tried calling her again. Nothing. I got back to work. I'm working. I'm at the last room now. And I'm like cleaning up, taking care of the trash, everything. And I call her again, nothing. And then by that time, it's like winding down, and then like I just hang around. I'm like, man, what do I do? Should I go home and rush home? Cause I'm like tripping out that my mom is possibly dead. At least that's what Sam was telling me. I'm like, should I go? Am I wasting valuable time? Should I tell the police? What? So then I hang around, and then Jesse I talked to Jesse for a little bit, and so I go into the restroom, and right before I decided, all right, I'm gonna tell Jesse because, like, I'm gonna just tell him what's going on, you know. So then I go into the restroom, and then Satan tells me, you know what? Don't tell Jesse, because he's gonna know that you're overreacting, and then by him knowing, he's gonna be like, you a beta, and I didn't want to expose myself. So then I was like, wait, what's going on? I'm defending Satan right now. Like, I'm literally defending Satan because I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to like see like that image, like what you're talking about, that image. So then I didn't even have to tell Jesse. Like, I just say, Jesse. He's like, what is it? What's on? Something's on your mind. And I'm like, I think my mom did. And then he's like, man, get out of it. Like, get out of your mind. All thoughts are lies. And I'm like, I know, but, you know, like that, but it's my mama. I think she did. She hasn't called me back. It's been 5 times. No ring back. Like, man, what's going on?
And so when the Mexican boy would tell me about it, he was like this. You can see his eyes dead. He told me the whole story. I was like, man, have a wait and see. Your mama ain't dead. Yeah, you're right. But he was. I can see he was in the head. He had no life. No life. I was like, man, Satan lied to you. Satan's not going to tell you the truth about your mama. Have a way to see it. If she did, there's nothing you can do about it anyway. And so he rushed home, and mama. And when you got home, what happened real fast?
So when I got home, my mom was home, and I was already on the way there. I was like watching myself. I wasn't overreacting, but I was like just reflecting on what had happened that day. I'm like, wow, amazing. So I get home, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, hi. I'm like, I tried calling you. I didn't say how many times. And I didn't say, where were you?
He didn't tell it was 1,000 times and he was panicking.
I didn't say it was like 1,000 times in 2 minutes. But she's like, what? You tried calling me? I never got a call. My phone's acting up. Like, dang. And I'm like, then I felt silly. I just ate some dinner, and then I fell asleep real early because I had no energy. I was just out. Like, I was out of it.
Isn't that amazing? Overthought. Over lie in the head. All thoughts are all lies all the time. All lies. And so when I got to the event, then I hope your stuff is not real emergency. Huh? But when I got to the event yesterday, Sammy's friend Eric was there. And so I sat next to Eric, and I said, did Sammy ever find his mama? And what do you think? Because you didn't know the story at that time, right?
Nah. Like I said, I'm from the hood, so when someone asks you something you don't know the answer to, you just say no. You know? So I was like, I don't know. He didn't find her.
And then if you mention the mama, that's really important, right? To the hood man.
You get serious about our mamas.
Yeah. But the whole point, he believed a lie. And he wants what's right. He does the prayer, but he believed into a lie, and it just felt real and it seemed real. All thoughts are all lies all the time. Really, all the time. And they get involved with no matter what you do, it has something to say about it. Really. All thoughts are all lies. So you got it, and it's spiritual, and you can't make yourself not be a part of the thoughts because it's spiritual. You need to do this silent. Go and forgive your mother for turning you away from your fathers. Forgive your father for not protecting you from the mothers because they couldn't help it. Your mother can't help it. Her mother did it to her. The father's mother did it to them. They can't help it. It's the same feeling you have, right? I'm sorry for resenting you. You will enter in, do the prayer, and you will grow. That's why God said, pray without ceasing. He wants you to stay in the light. Come into my presence. Stay there so I can guide you. All right? You got to do the prayer. Yes.
Okay, sorry. So the first question is about the silent prayer, about doing it every morning and every night.
Yeah.
I don't do it every night now, maybe more because I'm pregnant. I get like lazy, and Satan is
That's
telling me.
more reason to do it because you're going to be tripping.
I know. But
Wow.
it's
So
just,
when she started tripping, they said, you know what? Suffer. Right? Because she got to do the prayer. You can tell her night and day, all is well, you're in your head. But if she doesn't do the prayer, she's going to be in her head.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to clarify for me, because I never thought it was like that important to make it every morning, every night, because I was seeing progress by doing it just every morning. I was still seeing progress on my thoughts and on my emotions and whatever. So just to clarify, because I feel like maybe not just me, a lot of people are not doing it every morning, every night because they don't see the importance, I guess, of doing it every night. They don't see it because they think it's already helping them.
Right.
Doing it every morning. So just because I see it as what I get from you, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, because what I'm getting from you is that you're closer to God as much time. If you do more, like every morning, every night, you get more closer and it's faster for you. Not faster necessarily, but like you have more time with God. So since you are investing more time to God,
Who have more time with God?
Yourself by
Oh, the
doing
person
the
doing the
silent,
prayer?
by doing the silent prayer, you're investing more in God, right? So God is gonna give you more, I guess. God is gonna. It's not like He's gonna give you more, but you're gonna be allowing God more to give you more wisdom, I guess, right? Or I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just thinking about me, my thought process of doing it every morning, every night. Why is that so important?
That's amazing to me. Even that is from Satan. Satan wants you to think about all that. Just do the prayer. Or don't do it. You can't analyze God.
Well, I'm analyzing why am I not doing it every night?
Why are you analyzing it?
Because I'm hearing you saying every morning, every night. Every
Well,
morning,
just
every
suffer
night.
until you're ready.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm not really suffering. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, don't do it then.
Okay, then the second question about friends is you're saying that to not have an opinion about your friends, right?
Right.
To just kind of like a kid. Like when I was a kid, I had my best friend, and I still have her because we have established this relationship where we don't care about what we each other do,
If you know the friends, I got a friend at school today, and it's just my friend. And the kids have no impression about the kids, right? Until the parents get involved and everybody mess it up. But it's just a friend. That's how we have to see each other. And we will once we come back into the light. We're just human beings. We're just hanging out. We're just talking. We're just friends with no perception. Even of the preacher or the movie star or the drug addict or the alcoholic. Well, you can't have, once you're born of the Father, you can't have an impression because you see the spirit that's driving, and it's not them. So you don't have an impression of them because you know it's not them.
So, but what about when people tell you, or when the Bible even tell you, choose wise your friend, like
what?
Choose wisely your friends, who you're spending time with, who you're doing this, who you're doing that. Isn't that having an impression on who you, like, let's say.
Well, when you're in the light, you will see who to hang around with and who not to. But you'll just see this is not the good spirit to be around without thinking all that.
Yeah.
You will see who to be around, who not. The light will guide you.
Okay,
it really
perfect.
will.
Yeah, that's how I feel like I'm right now. Like, I have friends that I'm not necessarily close to.
But you're making a horrible mistake by letting the devil tell you don't need to pray at night because you're doing fine.
Yeah, I know.
Because when you go to sleep, you fall into unconsciousness as well.
Yeah, and then you wake up.
And you don't sleep restfully.
What I've realized is that to me it's more my dreams. I have horrible dreams, and then
she has horrible dreams, but she doesn't need to do the silent prayer.
But it doesn't.
Because she's doing fine during the day.
But it doesn't catch up on the day. Like it's just the dream, and then I woke up, do a silent prayer, and I got over it.
Tell Satan to get behind you.
But
that's amazing.
Well,
She's having these horrible dreams, but not in the daytime, so she doesn't need to pray at night.
I noticed when I was going to ask you because I noticed when don't do it in the night, I would get weird dreams, be very groggy in the morning. And when I did do it at night, I would feel so much life, ready to, the alarm clock would go off.
That's right.
And also like
amazing.
I'm more propense to forget to do it in the morning.
Yes.
So I do it later in the morning, I feel like. Yeah.
That's what happens. Like literally, that's happened last night.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do it last night, and then I forgot to do it this
But
morning.
I still do it. So.
I do it every night, every morning, because I can't imagine not being one with the Father now. That other way is hell. It's pure hell. I want heaven on earth, right? And so no matter how, even when I do the men's forums at night or the ladies' forums on Thursday night, I get to bed like late, right? I do the prayer, and I go to bed, I sleep like a virgin. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake.
Yeah.
I'm wide awake. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different energy. It's a life. It's an energy of life and not of death. Really. The Father said, pray without ceasing. He didn't say, okay, well, at night, don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't have to do it at night. Right? Last word.
Yeah, about the silent prayer, I feel like it's a spiritual workout. So like every morning, let's say you work out, and the next day you don't work out, and then the next day you try to go back to working out, it's gonna be harder.
Yeah.
So you got to do it every day, so like that
Absolutely,
you don't fall
man.
back into it.
It's hard for people to get back to it once they stop. Because Satan doesn't want you to get back to it. He wants you to, everything but be still. Everything happens in stillness, all right? So I got to end, but you want to take one or what?
Yeah, one question.
Okay.
Karen Williams over on YouTube gave a few super chats and asked,
Thank you, Karen.
what does take away the stony heart out of your body and give you the heart of flesh mean?
I can't answer that today.
Oh.
That's my biblical question.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The brand new biblical question this week is what?
Do you have a heart of stone or of
A
love?
little louder for me?
Do you have a heart of stone or of love?
That's the brand new biblical question for next week. Do you have a heart of stone or of love? Isn't that amazing? Do you have a heart of stone or love?
I was gonna answer the last biblical
Oh,
question.
good. Let me get to that real fast. Do you pray the prayer of the heart or of the head?
Now the heart, because when I try to, like when I'm praying with my head, I feel like the thoughts are like centered in my head, and it's like trying to make me, I guess it's like a really burning feeling in my forehead that
Yeah.
I don't like. It's like constant thoughts, and I just feel like when my heart more relaxed.
Right on. When you do the silent prayer, will you be still and know the Father? You're praying the prayer of the heart. And the Holy Spirit interceding for you, Christ is interceding, and you're before the throne of the Father. You're before love. But when you're in your head, you're just rambling. And God's like, what the? Where you get that from? He's like, Jesus, go get me a glass of wine. When this person gets through praying the prayer of the head, let me know. When you're still, you're praying the prayer of the heart and not of the head. We know not what we want. We know not what to ask for. He knows everything. He knows what he wants us to have. He knows what we want. He knows it. We don't need to be doing that. We've been taught to do that. It's been wrong. You want to pray the prayer of the heart. Be still and know. All right? Do you have for the biblical question that I got to end, do you have a heart of stone or a heart of love?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Both.
Wait till the mic come.
Both.
And when you say both, what do you mean?
Depends on whether I'm in the light or in the darkness.
And so sometimes you're in the light and sometimes you're in the darkness?
Of course, aren't we all?
And how do you know when you're sometime in one or the other?
How do you know? That's the ultimate question. It takes self-observation and reflection. By doing all the things, you know when you've strayed. By doing all the things you're supposed to do to stay in the light, you know when you're not, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Are you saying that everyone has faith 24 hours a day?
I can't, it's a brand new biblical question. Every week I have a new biblical question.
I'm not a biblical expert. I can only speak from experience.
Yeah, I prefer those who are not experts. So you're right.
I'm certainly not an expert. So
Yeah.
my experience would be that on reflection, and you can understand one understands when you're in difficulty, and that your heart has kept out people and the good things in life if it's hard. Stone.
Okay.
I assume stone means absence of compassion and empathy and love.
Amazing.
So if you have all of those, you're in an isolated place, and if you're a reflective and spiritual person, you understand not to do that because it leads to a life of desolation, isolation, and pain.
Okay. In the green shirt, you have a heart of stone or heart of love? we know where this heart is. When they go,
I really don't think about it too much, but I think I have a heart of love. I mean, I'm not that much of a judgmental person.
that much?
Well, yeah, no man's perfect, you know. It's just like I've noticed I'm letting things go more than I used to. Like, I mean, I've been missing church for quite a few months. I just came back, and I noticed last week one of my coworkers, who I find extremely annoying. She's like 38 years old, and she's always making contact with me. And at work, I've just completely ignored her. I just go, this woman's toxic. I know she's absolutely amazing employee. I mean, she does her job well, but she drives me insane. And I'm going, you know what? I don't need to converse with her. I know she's my coworker, but she's toxic too. And I'm just going, you know what? I just ignored her. And all of a sudden, she's like, ever since I come to the church here the last couple times, she's like totally avoiding me, and like in a good way. In a good way. I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God I don't have to deal with this woman. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, she's been my coworker for a year, and I was like, okay, you're a good-looking girl, but you've got a horrible personality. Absolutely stunningly horrible. So I'm having more. I didn't
know you were waiting to talk.
I'm having more peace. I'm having more peace, and I'm judging less, and I'm letting things go, and it's nice. It's nice.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, because I don't believe in it. So.
Oh, okay.
So I apologize, but I don't.
No,
believe
don't
in it.
apologize. Suffer.
Okay. Okay. I believe
No
in
sweat off
praying,
my
but
back.
not the silent prayer.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I talked
Last
too much.
person. Are you heart of stone or heart of love? Right here.
Heart of love.
And why do you say heart of love?
Because it's not stone anymore.
And how do you know that?
When I had a heart of stone, I always wanted everybody to suffer and die, but now I'd rather tell them the truth.
You just what now?
I wanted them to suffer and whatever problem they had, but now I want to tell them the truth so they can get out of it.
And that's a sign that you have a heart of love? Oh, okay. What's your online name?
Based America First.
That's Based America First. I don't even know his real name.
Yeah, you do. You just forgot.
It was like with Derek. I used to remember Derek. Now, what's your other name? Now I see him as Big Bump. When I look over there, I see a big bump. But listen, so when you sit still and know the Father, and if you don't want to do it, really, don't do it. Do your hooping and hollering or whatever. Try to figure things out. It's really up to you. We're still friends. No problem with me, right? And God doesn't mind. He made the way for all to return to him. From the richest to the poorest, the least to the most, whatever, right? But it's up to you. It really is. He's not going to miss any sleep at night. They still having fun up there. They made the way for you. It is all inside, right? So he's not going to force anyone. And if you don't love him, he doesn't care. He's not going to miss any. He's not going to be mad. So it's up to you. I suggest you go and forgive your mothers and your fathers, and don't expect anything from them. You forgive them because you're wrong for resenting them. They are wrong for what they have done to you, but they couldn't help it, right? So you forgive them, do the silent prayer, and God will guide you. That's all. Being still is the way to go, all right? Be still and know that he is God. So I recommend that. It's up to you, though. And my brand new biblical question, do you have a heart of stone or a heart of love? And to the person that asked me that, I got to wait until next Sunday now because it's a biblical question. Thank you for your support. your donations to the organization and to the church. I totally appreciate it. We're going to reach the Super Chats and D-Lives tomorrow on the radio show. What else? Any announcement? No meetings this week. I had an amazing week this week. I taught all week. I did 3 hours of radio, 3 hours of taping the Father State, counseling every day. And then that meeting yesterday, my voice is like, I don't know where it comes. That's the life in me, really. And then I worked out like a champ. Oh, Lord. And I have a trainer that is like a slave master. He's white, and he's a bodybuilding guy. He competes, and he knows how to work everybody. You can see my body is amazing. Every muscle showing now. Even the belly going down. And so I work out very hard, very hard. I don't feel like I'm 72 at all. It's just nothing about it. I have to count up the years because I think my parents made a mistake. Because in Alabama, they didn't know how to read or write then. They didn't know that slavery had ended. And so I think they had the wrong year or month because I don't feel 72. I don't. But that's the life that God gives us. When you don't have anger, you have perfect love. Anyone that has anger is evil, and you have no peace. But anyone who forgives, and he take that spirit of anger away, you have perfect love, then you have life. That's just the way it is, all right? So do the prayer, do that. Thank you for your support, and thank you all for coming. I hope this helped a little bit today. I learned a lot from it, so I hope it helped you guys. And don't forget to support. Thank you, guys.